Hello, and thank you for joining us. This brief video presentation will provide an overview of an investment opportunity involving a proprietary technology designed to help consumers leverage the power of the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and finally turn the tide against the scourge of telemarketing. Since its inception, over 250 million Americans have registered their phone number on the federal Do Not Call list. Unfortunately, according to the FTC, violations and complaints are still growing and number into the millions every year. According to industry insiders, the FTC, federal and state agencies are so inundated that violators seldom get prosecuted, and those that do have figured out that even after paying fines, they're still making more money by telemarketing to the Do Not Call list than not. Realizing that they were fighting a losing battle, the government decided to turn the tables on telemarketers by way of certain legislative changes to the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. Rather than allow most violators to go unpunished, these changes empowered consumers to take direct action against violators in small claims and even federal court. However, even a growing awareness of these laws by consumers has not translated into a stream of fines significant enough to stop the harassment. Having been on both sides of the telemarketing line, I understand better than most why that is. Simply put, it is just too much of a hassle for consumers to take the action required to turn a complaint into cash. They'd rather simply hang up or block the number or avoid answering unknown numbers altogether. It was this realization that gave birth to the idea of Linebacker Privacy Protector, and it all started with the following question. What if there was an app that allowed me to click on a button and turn an unwanted call into cash? We spoke with dozens of consumers and everyone said the same thing. Please send me the link when it's ready. This was the idea that led to the development of the products and services that we are now prepared to launch. When we began the project in July of 2014, there wasn't anything like this anywhere, and to this date, only one similar application has launched on any platform. Incidentally, the law firm that launched that app claims that they have collected $30 million in damages for its clients so far. It is obvious to anyone who has a cell phone or a landline that the Do Not Call list just does not work. Unfortunately, regulatory agencies are overwhelmed and inundated to the point of being virtually ineffective to stop the harassment. And even though many consumers are aware of the TCPA regulations, most just aren't willing to invest the time to take action against violators. Instead, they simply don't answer unknown numbers. Instead of prisoners in their own home, they are prisoners of their own phone, living in fear of the unknown caller ID. Those who are a little bit more technically inclined may resort to using one of the dozens of call blocking softwares available on their App Store or Google Play accounts. Unfortunately, most of these applications rely on some form of blacklisting of known telemarketing numbers, or block anyone not already in your contacts. The downside to these methods is twofold. The primary problem is that in some cases, important calls can be blocked. For example, your pharmacy calling, or your bank, or perhaps you did apply for that free vacation and were anxiously awaiting the call. The other reason they don't work is that telemarketers have figured out that changing or spoofing the caller ID is extremely easy, especially with the auto-dialer technologies most of them use to make calls. Some collection agencies have even been known to spoof their caller IDs with a number that would appear friendly to you, a direct violation of the Truth in Caller ID Act. And the reason they do this is because they can get away with it. The odds are in their favor and telemarketers will continue to violate the law because rewards outweigh the risks. That is, until now. The solution to the problems we've just described can be found in the Linebacker Privacy Protector mobile application and landline device. The proprietary software we have developed will offer consumers something that is currently unavailable in the well-established telemarketing call blocker software market. We can glean some insight from looking at the vast amount of applications offered for this purpose. With nearly half of them boasting more than 1 million users and many having 5 and 10 million users, it is safe to say that there is a large demand for privacy protection. In fact, the top 5 applications combine for over 140 million users, and not one of them offers call screening or the ability to turn unwanted calls into cash. Only Legal Call Blocker from Lemberg Law promotes itself as a tool for consumers to leverage the TCPA, but all it does is transfer the caller ID and the time of the call from the user's call log and opens up a questionnaire for the user to describe the nature of that call. After that, the application shows a tracking indicator next to a percentage completed on your case. When it reaches 100%, you are given a number to call, wherein you learn your legal call blocker was just a lead generator for a law firm. The Linebacker app works by rerouting unknown calls through a cloud-based intelligent voice routing service, wherein the unknown caller receives legal notice that the client does not authorize any solicitation, and the caller is asked to identify themselves. The caller then receives notice that the call will be recorded and documented for any cause of action that may ensue. The user then hears an intro and decides whether or not to take the call. In addition to providing a one-click reporting method, privacyprotector.org will also operate continuous social media campaigns to engage users and provide them with value-added content via our weekly blog, daily social media updates, and self-help tools for users who wish to take action directly. However, the most important factor that will make us experience viral growth will be generating results for our clients through the network of participating attorneys that will handle the cases generated through the app. The Linebacker will offer a complete voicemail management solution featuring the familiar look and feel of the user's existing call log interface, albeit branded with our own colors. This user interface will be intuitive and easy to use for completing the initial setup and for changing the settings at any time. Automated carrier voicemail rerouting commands will make it very simple for users to activate their Linebacker. On the back end, the user's simple setup request sets in motion a series of complex system configurations which automatically provision a new voicemail box, turn up service on their new DID number, and integrate that route into our billing system in order to track and record every call that comes into that number. A traditional IVR voicemail setup, which is both easy and familiar to cell phone users, will be the standard for version 1.0. But additional improvements to voicemail and premium features will continue to be developed. A bulk upload of friendly numbers will be the last step in the setup process. From that point on, the application will automatically sync any newly added or deleted contacts. In-app recording of all unknown callers from initial ring to disconnect will allow us to capture and document TCPA violations and encourage users to take action by providing the ability to generate a complaint with one click. The website will also provide a complete user backend interface to manage the account and track active cases. Through the website and through our social media platforms, we will continue to provide value-added content to educate consumers about their rights and how to properly handle possible unauthorized callers. These channels will also be used to promote user testimonials to create viral growth. Our initial launch campaign will be made through video marketing campaigns primarily through Facebook and Twitter to drive traffic to our squeeze pages and lead sales funnels. We own multiple domains for these purposes, but most feature the Linebacker name or My Linebacker to promote a consistent brand. The rocket fuel for this campaign will be targeted video marketing featuring user testimonials to create excitement and buzz. Every time we obtain a settlement for a user, we will request a video testimonial or some other form of endorsement, as these will be the ongoing fuel that will drive viral growth. We will also do traditional SEO marketing to leverage the benefit of all the social media buzz. An aggressive backlink campaign connecting our attorney network and other relevant sites will also increase the amount of organic traffic coming to our website. And traditional pay-per-click and pay-per-action advertising will round out our complete solution for client acquisition. Our initial plan calls for focusing on the application only for the first year. This will allow us to create a large organic customer base to offer our home line device to. In addition to doing so, we will be able to gauge demand and even take pre-orders to limit our manufacturing risk and organically raise the capital required for manufacturing. For the device marketing, we will also partner with RevShare, a pay-for-performance media network with more than 1,800 TV stations. They will manage all media buys and TV sales and only charges on a per-sale basis. The device marketing will have the added benefit of driving new traffic to our website and gaining us new app users as a side benefit. This comprehensive marketing plan will ensure that we reach our goals without factoring the possibility of a particular video testimonial going viral, allowing us to hit 10 million users in 3 months. What follows on these pages are the pre-launch funding requirements along with a year one sales projection, payroll and operating expense projections, and cash flow summaries. These are just highlights of an in-depth comprehensive financial business plan which was provided with this presentation. In our starting point, we itemize the total cost to bring the project to launch and account for funds required to carry the project through launch and beyond its break-even point, which is projected to be within 4 months. The total pre-launch funds required were $400,000, but much of the initial investment has been covered by first-round funding. Costs such as product engineering and design, which has yielded working prototypes, and 90% of the software development costs have been paid for. Also covered are all the production costs for the 8 TV commercials, along with several user testimonial videos which will be used for launch. The additional funding required is reflected here as a commercial loan convertible to stock, but more on that later. Here we lay out our general assumptions with the different revenue streams being broken down top left and listed as income per month per user. On the top right is the green shaded section are all the general assumptions and calculations that give us the figures for our monthly revenues. Commencing in column I, we first look at carrier access billing revenue. This income is currently averaging over 5 cents per minute, but the high volume of traffic we anticipate would eventually force us to use DIDs from larger rate centers where the projected income could be as low as 1 cent per minute. Even though the actual CAPS billing will likely be much higher, we have decided to use 50% of actual projected for virtually every assumption used in this plan. That is why we are only using half a penny per minute as our CAPS billing revenue target. When looking at the total minutes per day, we must remember that every unanswered call received by the user will wind up connecting to our DIDs and be billed in 6-second increments. We are estimating that the average user will have 5 minutes per day of calls connect to their voicemail. Also, note that the unknown calls connected through the Linebacker app is generating income for the entire duration of that call. Also adding to the CAPS billing totals are the minutes that the users spend checking messages via the IVR or configuring their system. This will account for another 3 minutes per day on average for a total of 8 minutes per user. When we convert that to monthly averages and multiply that by our 0.005 CPM estimate, we get $122 per month per user with a cost of goods sold of roughly 19 cents. The next column is ad revenue based on cost per impression that is shown, independent of whether or not the ad is clicked. Cost per impression can be as high as $30 per thousand, but our call log ads will be aggressively priced at $10 per thousand or only 1 penny per view. Between the ads on the call log and the full-page banner ads shown on the call blocks, our application will easily average 6 impressions per day and 3 banner ads. We are only using a third of what we estimate, which converts into monthly revenue numbers of 91 cents per user. From those total views, we can estimate the number of banner ads that will show will exceed 200 per month. Pay-per-click advertising, which can be as high as $50 per click depending on the type of lead, but in keeping with our conservative estimates, we are only anticipating a per-click revenue of 46 cents per user per month based on a 50-cent click. This means less than 1 click per user per month. We also anticipate that 5% of users will request premium services that will result in an average income per incident of $19. When calculated as an average per user income, this translates into an additional 95 cents per month. Winding up our revenue streams is the home device premium services at $2.99 per month, which is not included until year 2 and only anticipates 5% of users selecting premium services. Other revenue streams not listed include data mining and attorney referral fees. The sales projections below are cumulative nature. Therefore, each month's projections reflects the previous month's user base plus the projected increase. Those increases are tied directly to marketing dollars and the cost per acquisition of new users. For the most part, organic and viral growth has not played a large factor in creating these projections, and so the number would be a great deal better if the application goes viral, as many value-added free applications tend to do. For the initial 30-day period, we are projecting reaching 5,000 new users. For months 2, we anticipate adding another 5,000 and doubling our subscriptions through aggressive marketing and social media. User testimonials indicating that the app works and generates money will be the key to driving steady non-viral growth. In the event the application goes viral, we would have to monitor our system closely so as not to overtax the infrastructure of our carrier partners. For example, if we went from 10,000 to 500,000, we would have to temporarily suspend new downloads while we added additional staff and prepared to activate our backorder queue for new membership requests. Based on the marketing dollars we're investing and a small percentage of organic growth, we should exceed 178,000 users within the first 12 months, creating a recurring revenue stream of over $7 million per year. In estimating payroll, we have once again elected to show worst-case scenarios, as half of the staff would not be required for possibly the first 2 months. However, we would want to identify all the key players and potentially try to start them on a part-time basis to be ready if growth far exceeds our expectations. Many of these team members have been identified and have worked on the project as contractors over the past year. With this infrastructure, we will be able to handle growth of up to 250,000 users. Other than payroll, operating expenses consist primarily of advertising and affiliate marketing plan expenses reflected as pay-per-click commissions. These are variable and grow right along with the numbers of new user acquisitions. Other variable expenses shown include server and bandwidth infrastructure, which are tied to total number of users as well. On this slide, cash flow projections, we take into account operating cash balance assuming all pre-launch expenses have been paid. Based on the conservative sales predictions shared, our plan shows us becoming cash flow positive by month 4, generating a cash balance increase of over $15,000 that month. By the end of the year, the business will have produced $550,000 in positive cash flow. By finally providing an application that easily turns unwanted telemarketing calls into cash and delivering it in a user-friendly and feature-rich package, the Linebacker Privacy Protector is perfectly positioned to be a significant player in this software segment. Based on our conservative growth estimate that you will see in the in-depth financials, we feel that we could easily reach 3 million users in 3 years. We are hopeful that the values reflected on the projected balance sheets may finally put this opportunity into perspective. Total equity achieved in 3 years with only 2.7 million users is $136 million, generating an annual cash flow of over $107 million with a break-even of just under $1.4 million. This opportunity is a gold mine of residual income. This second round of funding is to complete final preparations for launch and fund operations through and beyond the break-even point occurring in month 4. Use of funds shall be as described in the financial plan. Proposed investment will be structured as a convertible 5-year note at 15% per annum with monthly interest and principal payments. The note shall be collateralized by all assets and intellectual property of the company. At any time after month 12, the investor shall have the option of converting the balance of the note to stock and receive a 25% discount to par value at the time of conversion. Such stock acquisition will be capped at 20% of the total equity in the company. This investor shall also have first right of refusal in the event that the company desires to raise additional funding for any purpose. Thank you for your interest. We look forward to discussing this opportunity in person. For more information, please contact us via email at info@privacyprotector.org.